I had hoped that I could be with you at the regional conference in Hawaii this year, but if you don't know, physically I've had a few setbacks. Had to have my prostate loaded with cancer removed about 2.5 months ago through robotic surgery, an extreme form of removal. A lot of the problems were really based on the fact that on the old gunshot wounds, since all the plumbing had been rearranged, so that when I sit on the porcelain palace to do my best thinking, it means that everything moves in reverse, and I curse the name of John Gotti Jr., who was responsible for that it made life even harder now than it was before, because everything had to be moved around internally in order to extract the cancer-laced prostate. It was a successful operation, but boy, it took its toll. And it'll take me about a good 6 months to get back on track. And it's really limited my ability to travel. And I'm not just talking about major travel like it would have been there to Kauai to join you at your conference. I'm talking about travel just to Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Just getting in a car because of all the times that I have to get in and out and go to the Porcelain Palace to answer the call of Mother Nature. And it's going to be that way for a while. So I'll deal with that. It's more importantly of how you deal with this particular conference. You're there in the gorgeous settings of Kauai. The majority of you are from Hawaii, or from the mainland, Oahu, and obviously Kauai itself. We used to have the patrol on Maui. I would hope that you'll take the time to get back on track, because with the presence of KG Oda there, our international director, that's right, Hi Lord, I'm a great, our international director, he's going to spend additional time with you trying to get you to focus on where you need to be in all of Hawaii, whether it's Oahu, Maui, or Kauai. And that's extraordinarily important. Coming out of the various regional conferences that have already taken place in Richmond, Virginia, York, Pennsylvania, most recently in Chicago, the focus was, what is it that the Guardian Angels are most known for? In survey after survey that has been done, actually, not by us, but independently and autonomously, it's the patrol. Yeah, people like the Junior Guardian Angels, they like Cyber Angels, they like some of the other projects that we're involved in that have to do with humanitarian outreach, whether we're helping flood victims or earthquake victims, or like in Japan, the tsunami and earthquake victims combined. They love all of that, but that's not what we're best known for. In fact, when KG Oda was struggling with what to do about the enormity of the problems in Japan, that, quite frankly, have limited the number of Japanese who can come over, because originally that was one of the purposes of having the regional conference in Kauai, is that more of our Japanese Guardian Angels could come over. As you know, they're consumed with whatever minutes that they have free in their schedule to help in the continued tsunami and earthquake relief. But it's not just in delivering goods and supplies and humanitarian services. There are other groups who do that, and quite frankly, they do it a lot better than us. But we are the ones who provide public safety. So that when KG had that moment in which he said, I don't know what we could do in those affected areas where there's no electricity, there's no light. And I said to KG, you do what we do best, which is patrol, what we're best known for, what people in Japan and all over the world know about the Guardian Angels, if they do know anything about the Guardian Angels, is that we are a civilian patrol in a paramilitary look with the red beret, the red sateen jacket, and have a reputation that spans 32 years. Stick with what we do best. And that's what people will recognize us for and will come to us and seek more of, as opposed to all the other ancillary programs which we do well, but sometimes not as well as other organizations that specifically have been formed as an NGO or a nonprofit or a philanthropy to tend to those people's needs. We can do all of those things, and we do it well, but not necessarily as well as a lot of the other big boys or big girls on the block who do that all the time. So let's keep our focus. So there in Hawaii, or those of you who are coming in from Reno, or Confront, who I know has come in from San Diego and obviously has the responsibilities of California, and to any of the others that I have failed to mention, refocus. Without a patrol, we're not really functioning Guardian Angels. We're Guardian Angels in name only. We could do a lot of outreach, but that's not what the Guardian Angels are known for. And with the growth and development in far-off places, I mean, we even have Guardian Angels in Sardinia, 2 Guardian Angel groups In the northern part and southern part of the island of Sardinia, I can't even find that on the European map out there in the Mediterranean. All based on our efforts in Italy. And KG Oda can go in and explain that at length. You need to really lock down and get back into it, and with it into the concept of who we are and what we do, the basis of being a guardian angel. You know, the first thing I did upon recovering from prostate cancer removal is I went to Poughkeepsie. It was an anniversary they were having in the mid-Hudson of New York. It's a tough area to patrol, and an even tougher area nearby in Newburgh, which is one of the most impoverished, crime-infested, ravaged areas in the country. And what I did was I went out on patrol with them. Even though there were other festivities, there were other ancillary events we were involved in, it's the patrol. And I was struggling, man. I was hurting. I was really, like, suffering with a lot of pain. But it's the patrol. So at least once a week, fulfill the duty, fulfill the mandate, fulfill your responsibility as a guardian angel. Then, if time permits, in your hectic personal and professional schedules, then you could devote time to all the other endeavors. But use Japan as an example. They would have been there in great numbers. But because of that tsunami and that earthquake that had an impact not just on Japan, but the world economy, as you can see, it's really put a hurting on it. They are slowly recovering. And the best way that the guardian angels have participated in the rebirth, the redevelopment of the affected areas all along their coast is to patrol those areas. Not necessarily by foot, but by car. Because that's what we're known for. So I'm hoping, in my absence, that you can take advantage of KG Oda's appearance, his desire to stay with you and work with you individually and as a group, and then our continued conversations afterwards. I've had some great outreach from people who are interested in what you're doing in your regions, and we'll go into that individually. But let's sort of get together in good solidarity, knowing that after 32 years, this is the only place to go when it comes to civilian patrols. We're the granddaddy. We're it. You Google it, and pretty much that's what you see is what you get. That's why so many inquiries keep coming into us from all over the world. We're local, but we're also global. And you can all be proud in that you contributed to this. You've accomplished things. You have done nothing to sully the reputation of the guardian angels. But I'm asking you, you got to sort of reconnect. You got to take it up a notch. You got to get back into the groove. And if you've been $1 short and a day late, got to get back on track. We're in 14 countries, 140 cities, and we're growing. And I've got to start making decisions that if we're not fulfilling the mandate, if we're not fulfilling the very reason that we exist, the patrol, and then everything else circles around that, then you have to ask yourself, why do you want to be a guardian angel? This is not a fraternal organization. It's not a sorority. We don't just talk about the way things used to be. We talk about the way things should be and what we can do to make that happen. And you can do that in Oahu, Maui, Kauai. You can do that in Reno. You can do that in Japan. You can do that in the Philippines. You can do that in New Zealand. You can do that in Australia. You can do that in every sector of the area we cover, up and down the West Coast, from Vancouver, British Columbia, right through Portland, Oregon, through Sacramento, San Francisco, the Bay Area, and then cutting right on down to Los Angeles and San Diego. You have the ability to do that. And over in Reno, Nevada. So let's get down and do it. Let's make sure we have a productive conference. Don't worry about me. Give me a few more months and I'll be back on the good foot, and I hope to be visiting all of you. But let's pay special homage to KG for all that he's been through. He is a representation of what our Japanese guardian angels continue to do as I speak to you. Let's support his efforts, but more importantly, he's there to support all of you. Let's have a great conference. Let's come out of it pumped. Let's come out of there positive, not with dull faces and doom and gloom saying, oh, woe is me. You know, how do I get back on the good foot? You're already on the good foot. You're a guardian angel. You earned that by wearing the red beret, the t-shirt, the red sateen jacket. Now let's add to the legacy. Let's add to the heritage. Get back out there and do what we know you can do universally and have been doing for 32 years.